All right, today we are diving deep into the invisible gears that make your digital life tick. We're talking about the secret chains holding it all together, linked list variations. Let's get right into it.
Seriously, think about it. It kind of feels like magic, right? You make a typo, you hit Control Z, and poof, it never happened. Or what about clicking the back button in your web browser? How in the world does it remember every single page you visited in order? Well, I'm going to tell you it's not magic. It's just a really, really clever data structure. Okay, so first up, we have to talk about the one-way street problem. To really get why there are different kinds of linked lists, we've got to start with the most basic one and the big problem it creates. Think of it like a digital one-way street. I want you to imagine you're on a scavenger hunt, right? Each clue you find points you to where the next clue is hidden. But here's the thing. It doesn't tell you anything about the clue you just found. That's the whole idea behind a basic or singly linked list. The concept itself is actually beautiful in its simplicity. Each little item, we call it a node, holds just two things: a piece of your data, like a URL from your browser history, and a pointer. And that pointer is literally just an address that says, hey, the next piece of the chain is over there. These nodes can be scattered all over your computer's memory. It doesn't matter. It's the pointers that create the chain. But just like walking through train cars, you can only go one way, forward.
And this super simple one-way structure, it is surprisingly powerful. I mean, it's the backbone for the undo feature. That's just a list of all the previous states of your document. It also runs your browser history, your most recently used files list, and even the turn-by-turn directions in your GPS. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. If every single node only knows about the next one, what happens when you need to go backward? Or what if you need to jump to the very, very end of the list real quick?
And this is that one-way street problem in a nutshell. If you want to add a new item at the end of the list, you have no choice. You have to start at the very beginning and walk through every single node just to find the last one. The longer the list gets, the longer this takes. For all you coders out there, that's a classic O of N operation. It's slow. It's what the source material calls the inefficient part. And you just know there's gotta be a better way. And of course there is. That brings us to section 2. Going backwards with doubly linked lists. Let's see how one simple little addition basically turns our one-way street into a two-way superhighway, giving us a huge advantage over other data structures like arrays. The solution is this tiny but absolutely brilliant change. Every node now has two pointers. One still points forward to the next node, but now we have a brand new one that points backward to the previous node. And all of a sudden, our train car analogy gets a major upgrade. We can now stroll freely between all the cars, forward and backward, no problem. This one little change unlocks a massive amount of flexibility and makes adding or removing items, especially from the middle of the list, incredibly efficient. You don't have to shift a million things around like you would in an array. Okay, let's look at a quick example to see why this is so awesome. Let's say we've got a list with just two nodes, A and C. And we want to slip a new node, B, right there in the middle. With our two-way pointers, this is like performing surgery. It's clean, it's precise. First, we connect our new node, B. We tell it, hey, your previous neighbor is A, and your next neighbor is C. Easy enough. Then we just have to update the old neighbors. We tell A, hey, your next neighbor isn't C anymore, it's B. And finally, we tell C, your previous neighbor is now B. And that's it. The chain is perfectly reconnected. We didn't have to walk the whole list. We just had to change a few pointers. Once you know where you want to insert something, the operation itself is what we call O of 1, or constant time. It is blazing fast, and it perfectly shows off the power of having that previous link. So we can go forward, we can go backward. But what if the goal is to never stop at all? Well, that brings us to our final variation in section 3, connecting the ends with circular linked lists. Sometimes a list that has a clear beginning and a clear end just doesn't fit the problem you're trying to solve. Think about processes that have to run over and over again, or cycling through a set of options forever. The perfect analogy here is your music playlist. When you put it on repeat, the last song finishes, and what happens next? The first song starts right back up. Or think about players taking turns in a board game. When the last player takes their turn, who's next? The first player again, of course. It's just a continuous loop. And the change to make this happen is so simple it's almost funny. In a normal list, that last node points to, well, nothing. It's a dead end. In a circular linked list, we just take that last pointer and aim it right back at the very first node in the chain, and boom, we've created a never-ending loop. And this has some really cool perks. For one, you can jump into the list at any random point and still be guaranteed to visit every single node. This makes it perfect for things like managing a pool of computer resources that need to be handed out one after another. Or, yeah, for handling those turn-based games we were talking about. So there we have it. We've looked at 3 different kinds of linked lists. We've got the simple one-way street, the flexible two-way highway, and the never-ending loop. And that brings us to the most important part, choosing the right chain for the job. Let's just break it down real simple. If all you need is a basic, memory-efficient way to log data in order, the singly linked list is your friend. It's simple and lightweight. Now, if you need to go back and forth and you need to insert or delete things really fast, like with an undo feature or browser navigation, the doubly linked list is, without a doubt, the way to go. And finally, if you need a process to loop forever, like that repeating playlist or round-robin game, the circular list was literally designed for that job. You know, when it comes right down to it, this is all about a fundamental principle of engineering and, well, of life, really. There's almost never one single best solution for everything. It's always about understanding the trade-offs and picking the smartest, most efficient tool for the specific problem you're trying to solve. So, the next time you hit undo on a mistake or you listen to that favorite playlist on repeat, you'll know the secret little chain that's working hard behind the scenes. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Now that you know what to look for, where else are you going to spot these hidden chains in your digital world?